there's always that constant struggle of tone chasing. You have a sound in your head, you're just always trying to achieve that tone, and you go through different amplifiers to get it, different guitars, different guitar pedals. It's the whole gamut of what we have options available to us as a guitarist. And how do you go about chasing your tones and really trying to achieve that sound in your head? What are you thinking about doing with the sonic landscape?
I'm thinking about the interaction of the speaker and the power section, and I'm thinking a lot about how the low end of the guitar is allowed to speak. It's a lot of interactions in the chain, and really, for what I do, you need those interactions to be experienced at volume,
Mm.
because you might get an amp that sounds really good in a bedroom, and then you bring it up to rehearsal volume and it's shit. So it's so important to test things loud.
Mm.
So I took my Cloud Hammer into the studio here in Malta and recorded 6 live tracks with it, super loud, with all the guys in the room. Built a little cage of pillows and things around the amp, and sense tested it from the perspective of just being a musician that plays guitar in a band. The thing is, there are so many ins and outs and variables. It's a very difficult job.
It's a challenge, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because what are they going to plug it into? And what guitar are they going to put into it? And are they going to change the valves? And are they going to run it really quiet because they live in a flat? Or are they going
Mm.
to run it loud? Are they going to put all the gain in it? So what I've done is a lot of, well, what Ben has done is a lot of preemptive capping. So you can't put more gain in the amp than is sensible.
11. Look, right across the board. 11,
Oh,
11,
and most of it.
11.
We've limited the gain. You can't put more treble through it than is sensible. So we've capped and limited things and kept it within a field that will just, you can kind of do whatever you want and it will sound a variance of good.
Yeah. Just that sweet spot trying to find.
Yeah, because otherwise, what I would hate is to find someone playing one of my amplifiers and it just sounding awful.
Mm.
And maybe it would be because they don't have the ability to tone sculpt. Maybe they're not experienced, you
Mm.
know. The best amp, in my opinion, really, although we couldn't bring it to market, would be a volume knob.
Just
And you
does
plug
everything for
in.
you as you turn it up. Yeah.
It should just be the sound that you want and louder or quieter.
Mm.
And then if you need more gain, there should be, you just use a stomp box. But you can't bring that to market because people want to make the sound their own. The first time I ever designed an amplifier, I wasn't able to go through a lot of that process. And I found that frustrating.
Mhm.
The second time I designed an amplifier, my input was a lot more on the functionality, the way it fitted to the player, and the branded concept. Then the third and fourth time, I was much more focused on the tones, but I wasn't as experienced of a player to get the best out of what I needed. I
Mm.
still did a good job, I think, with the Silverback and the RD1. I mean, I still use RD1, loads of times for stuff. Always have one around. I still have 3 Silverbacks, although they're kind of retired now. But this time, I really feel that I am experienced enough as a musician to have created an amplifier that contains the British crunch vintage vibe
Mm.
and the progressive heavy side.
Mm.
It'll take you from Carnival or Richie Kotzen, all the way up to kind of Mastodon, or I mean, you can get some proper Bandicam out of it if you need to. The whole Dorje thing is in there. I mean, I think I'm lucky because I have made music that was Americana blues rock, instrumental shred, and progressive hard rock. So I've sat in all three of these areas that need a different kind of tonal structure. And I think because I have a passion in quite a wide variety of tone, I haven't made a rock amp.
Mm,
I haven't made a blues amp. I've made a tonal chameleon.
yeah. So my main rig is a quad cortex, and you can make a very, very bad sound very easily if you want to as well with that, because it's just so much scope in either directions of particular settings. You don't really play a huge amount of digital from what I've seen, and you're very much rooted before and now in that analog valve amp guitar pedal world. Why is that? Well, why haven't you, I suppose, embraced that digital stuff? Is it just different to you? Is it just giving you that different connection that you talk about?
Funnily enough,
For
I
that,
mean, I do. I use a Trident.
mm,
So my main portable digital rig is a
right.
Anchaji.
Mm,
That's the Chinese for three-pronged spear. Um, because it's really simple, but I'll plug it into a power amp set with the effects return and out of a real speaker.
yeah, right. Okay.
I want to eliminate as many imaginations as possible. So if I've got, uh, I mean, they're all filters, yeah. So if you've got a preamp and then you've got an impulse response and then you've got an EQ and then you've got, it's like, well, am I imagining a speaker or do I have a real speaker here? Oh, I use a real speaker. Am I imagining a power section or have I got a real, I've got one here. Okay, I'll use that. Do I have a preamp? Okay. So what do I need this for? So I need this for effects, the preamp, maybe boosting. Maybe I need it to do some looping, tuning, all those practical things. But I don't need it to be a speaker cabinet, and I
Mm,
don't need it to be a power section, and I don't really need it to be an EQ from time to time. I use a Boss EQ pedal or whatever. So I will eliminate as many of the digital recreations of things that I can, because why would you want a recreation of something that you have already?
mhm.
It will never be as good as the real thing. Like, do you want that robotic wife or do you want a real woman?
Yeah. Good way to put it.
I know you know what I mean. The other thing is, you have to understand, I was born in 1975, 14th of June, 1975. I turned 50 this year in June. I spent the majority of my playing life playing on the circuit in England, like the Half Moon and Putney, but all just sticky floor venues, 100 people playing riffs, um, with an amplifier. And so for me, this is interesting actually. For me, that's what a guitar player is.
Mm,
It's a person who plays through a stack, loud amplifier. It's on the stage with them, monitor wedge, earplugs, and you have it. And I think I am partly responsible, probably quite responsible, for sculpting and changing what the average person would now think a guitar player is.
mm,
'Cause I think if you asked 100 16 to 25-year-olds, what's a guitar player? They would probably say, oh, it's a guy who sits in front of a desk, he's got a YouTube channel, he's filming demos.
mm,
A bit of that is my fault, but that's not where I come from. For me, a guitar player is somebody that plays in a band, bunch of bros, go on the road, couple of £100 a gig, late night kebab, jamming in the van. It's the fraternity.
mm. It's a
That's
world
what I love
apart,
about
isn't it?
it. It's the vibe, man. It's the
Mm.
banter. It's the bullshit man on the way to the 3-hour gig that's going to get you a parking ticket. You got to pay for your own beer.
Yeah,
Someone's mum will hit on you,
yeah,
and you'll love it. You know,
yeah.
that,
Actually, yeah, I mean, on that, I mean, behind me, as you can see, I've got a 2x12 Zilla custom cab. I'm sitting,
nice.
I've got my quad cortex, but sitting on top of that is a Seymour Duncan power stage. So I'm going into the power stage, into a real cab, and I got that recently, and I got to say, it was a a game changer for my connection with the sound, because playing through studio monitors or even just a FRFR speaker, it's just not the same.
But ultimately, it doesn't matter, because what I'm explaining is that from where I come from, my dream, my vision quest is a loud, hot valve amp. But someone else's vision quest might be a floor preamp plugged into an FRFR, and there's no wrong.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
whatever gets the music conduit flowing is
yeah,
the
absolutely.
right thing. You know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever works, man. You know, I mean, are you playing a Stag guitar into a Boss Katana Mini, or are you playing a Gibson Les Paul into a JCM 800? Doesn't matter, you know.